My beloved child, gather close to me now. Come sit as though heaven itself has taken you gently by the hand, because what I am about to reveal is not ordinary, and it is not casual. It is divine. The air around you is shifting even as you listen. There is a stirring, a movement, a whisper that reaches from the very halls of heaven straight into your spirit. And this whisper carries a message from Archangel Michael himself. My beloved, he comes with urgency, holy urgency. For he does not speak when the hour is slow. He does not descend when the moment is easy. He speaks now because heaven has declared, only 2 minutes left. 2 minutes in the language of heaven is not earthly time, it is spiritual timing. It means the moment of your rising is right here, pressing upon your destiny like a wave ready to break onto the shore. Child of God, can you sense it? Can you feel heaven's breath moving toward you? Can you feel the trembling of the atmosphere? For heaven is opening something that has been sealed for a long season. Something hidden. Something sacred. Something written before you ever took your first breath. Archangel Michael steps forward with a scroll in his hand. Oh, this is not just any scroll. This is no ordinary parchment. It shimmers with the gold of God's glory. It pulses with light. It carries a fragrance that is not of this world, a fragrance of new beginnings, of promises kept, of love that never fails. And as Michael holds it, he speaks in that mighty voice, the voice that shakes darkness and commands armies. Heaven has just released your secret wedding invitation. My beloved child, do you hear that? Not an invitation written by man, not crafted by human hands, not imagined by earthly minds. This invitation is written by God himself, the Eternal One, the Ancient of Days, the one who writes destinies with fingers of fire. And inside this holy invitation, there is a name. Not just any name. A name that will delight your soul. A name that will awaken something deep in you that you thought was forgotten. A name that will make your spirit tremble, because it speaks of who you truly are, who you were always meant to be, and what heaven is now calling you into. But Michael says, open it immediately. For the time is short, my beloved child. Heaven is not delaying. Heaven is not waiting. Heaven is not whispering gently. It is calling loudly, urgently, lovingly. The angels around you are on assignment. The winds of God are shifting. The Spirit of the Lord is standing still, watching to see how your heart responds. You are standing at the doorway of revelation. You are moments away from stepping into a divine surprise. You are seconds from hearing heaven call your name in a way you have never heard before. My beloved, breathe. Prepare your heart. Something holy is coming. We will open the invitation together. My beloved child, come a little closer in your spirit, for we now enter a deeper place where heaven begins to speak with even greater clarity. You have heard the announcement. You have felt the trembling in the atmosphere. But now you must understand why Archangel Michael has come to you in this hour. Nothing heaven does is random. Nothing the angels release is casual. When Michael steps forward, it means a battle has already been fought on your behalf, and victory is already being declared before you even see the first sign of change. My child, The call that is reaching you right now is not just a message. It is an alarm from heaven. Not the alarm of danger, but the alarm of divine timing. Heaven does not ring bells for delays. Heaven rings bells for moments of destiny. And when Archangel Michael appears with urgency, it means the clock of heaven has struck the moment appointed for your lifting. The moment when what was held back is finally released. The moment when the season shifts in your favor. Listen, my beloved. There are moments in a person's life when God whispers, moments when God nudges, and moments when God sings over his children. But there are also moments, very rare moments, when God's archangel appears holding a decree. This is one of those moments. That is why you feel the tug in your spirit. That is why your heart senses something stirring that words cannot explain. Heaven is calling you by name, asking you to rise, asking you to listen, asking you to step forward. For Archangel Michael does not come to announce small things. He comes when the heavens are preparing something monumental. He comes when promises are ready to be delivered. He comes when blessings that were tied up in spiritual warfare are finally being released. And he comes when God himself has written something for you, something no enemy can block, rewrite, or intercept. My child, imagine Michael standing before you. His armor glows with heavenly fire. His wings stretch wide with strength. His sword, the sword that has defended your destiny more times than you will ever know, rests at his side. He looks at you with eyes full of purpose, and he says your name with a power that shakes off every lie the enemy ever told you. And then he declares, heaven has just finished preparing what belongs to you. Why now? Because everything in your life has been leading to this precise moment. The battles you fought were not random. The tears you cried were not wasted. The delays were not denials. They were preparations. Heaven has been aligning every step, every turn, every challenge, so that when this invitation would finally be released, your spirit would be ready to receive it. For the invitation is not only a calling, it is a shift. Heaven does not give invitations unless a divine event has been scheduled in your destiny. Michael brings this message now because something has changed above you. Something has opened. The clouds that once looked heavy have parted. The blessings you prayed for, the answers you longed for, the breakthroughs you whispered for in the dark, heaven has begun to move them toward you with force. My beloved child, heaven's timing is perfect. And now, heaven's timing has reached you. Do you know why Michael said, only 2 minutes left? Because the moment you receive the revelation, the countdown to manifestation begins. When heaven announces the time is short, it means your miracle has already been stamped with the seal of release. It means what was written is now being delivered. It means the angels have already started their assignment and the heavens are rushing with purpose. My child, feel the weight of this. You are not watching from a distance. You are not hearing someone else's prophecy. You are standing in the very center of it. Michael is not speaking to a crowd. He is speaking to you. Heaven is not opening a scroll for the world. Heaven is opening a scroll for your life. God himself has written your name, and the Archangel has been instructed to deliver it into your spirit. So breathe, my beloved. Steady your heart. Something sacred is unfolding. Heaven is not just calling you. Heaven is awakening you. You are being summoned, not into confusion, but into clarity. Not into fear, but into fulfillment. Not into delay, but into divine alignment. My beloved child, rest your spirit gently as we step into this holy moment together. What I am about to reveal is not merely a story, it is a spiritual encounter. You are not listening with your ears alone, you are receiving with your soul. For now we speak of the secret wedding invitation, the very scroll that Archangel Michael carries with such reverence, the invitation written by God himself. My child, imagine Michael lifting the scroll slowly, as though even the slightest movement carries weight beyond measure. The scroll is unlike anything the human eye has ever seen. Its edges shimmer with divine fire, not a fire that burns, but a fire that illuminates. The parchment itself is alive. It breathes. It glows. It responds to the presence of God. When Michael holds it, the air shifts, the atmosphere thickens with glory, and all creation seems to pause for a single sacred moment. This invitation is not a symbol of earthly marriage. It is a heavenly mystery. In the language of the Spirit, a wedding represents union, union with destiny, union with calling, union with the promises that God himself designed for you long before your birth. When heaven prepares a wedding invitation, it means that something in your life is about to merge with what God has ordained. Your season is aligning with his purpose. Your steps are aligning with his plans. Your life is being woven into the very intention of heaven. My beloved child, listen carefully. This invitation is not sent to the many. It is sent to the chosen. It is personal. It is sacred. It is sealed with the signature of the Almighty. Every stroke on the scroll carries meaning. The lines are not merely words. They are declarations carved with golden light, shaped by the breath of God. When heaven writes something, it is eternal. When God seals something, no power in darkness can undo it. As Michael holds the scroll, your spirit begins to sense the weight of it. You may not fully understand it yet, but something inside you stirs. Something recognizes the divine handwriting. Something in you whispers, "This is for me." And yes, my child, it is. For God never writes invitations with vague names or distant intentions. He writes with precision. He writes with purpose. He writes with love so deep and fierce that even the angels bow when they see it. This invitation marks the moment heaven declares, it is time. Time for what, beloved? Time for the fulfillment of what you thought may never come. Time for the answers that seemed delayed. Time for the blessings that felt just out of reach. Time for the promise that survived every storm, every distraction, every battle that tried to pull you away. But more than that, this invitation calls you into identity. The wedding is not only about joining with promise, it is about becoming the person heaven always knew you were. When God writes your invitation, he writes it with the understanding of who you truly are, not who life made you feel like. Heaven does not speak to your wounds. Heaven speaks to your destiny. Heaven does not address your fears. Heaven addresses your calling. My beloved child, visualize the moment. Michael steps forward. His voice is strong, yet gentle. His presence is mighty, yet comforting. He looks at you with eyes that see beyond your past, beyond your weaknesses, beyond your confusion. And he says, "This invitation was written by the hand of God with your name in mind." What you hold within this heavenly invitation is more than a message. It is a covenant. A covenant that what God has planned cannot be overturned. A covenant that what He has written cannot be erased. A covenant that what He has spoken cannot return empty. You are being called into a divine union with everything God intends for you. Do you feel it, my child? The holy excitement stirring in your spirit. That is heaven calling out, pulling you closer, whispering, "You are chosen. You are seen. You are prepared." The invitation is not coming to you by accident. It is coming because the time ordained for your rising has arrived. This is why heaven has released it now. This is why Michael speaks with urgency. This is why the words "only 2 minutes left" echoed across your spirit. For heaven does not open scrolls before the time. Heaven waits for the precise second when the destiny of a child lines up with the clock of eternity. And in this moment, heaven has declared that alignment over you. Now, my beloved child, we journey even deeper. For within this invitation lies a name, your name, yet more than your name. A name that will delight your soul. The identity heaven calls you by. The identity God Himself wrote long before the world ever knew you. My beloved child, lean in with the softness of your spirit. For now we approach the most intimate part of this heavenly revelation. The scroll is in Michael's hands. The golden seal is unbroken. The atmosphere around you is charged with a quiet trembling, a holy anticipation, because what rests inside this divine invitation is not just a message, not just a blessing, but a name. The name that heaven uses when it speaks of you. A name that will delight your soul. My child, before we open this sacred invitation, I want you to understand something profound. Heaven does not call you by the name the world gave you. Heaven does not call you by the name of your mistakes or your history. Heaven does not call you by your fears, your failures, or the labels life tried to place upon your shoulders. Heaven calls you by identity. Heaven calls you by purpose. Heaven calls you by the destiny written for you before the foundations of the earth were laid. When God wrote this invitation, He wrote it with a name that reflects who you truly are, not who you feel you are today, not who pain made you, not who people said you were, but who you were always meant to be. And that, my beloved child, is why this name will delight your soul. Because it will remind you of a version of yourself you have sensed, but never fully stepped into. A version of you that is strong, whole, chosen, radiant, and deeply loved by God. Michael's fingers move toward the seal. With each inch closer, the light around the scroll grows brighter. You can feel it. Your chest tightens with emotion you cannot explain. Your spirit leans forward like a flower opening to sunlight. It is as if something ancient within you recognizes what is about to happen. Something deep whispers, "This is who you are." My child, the seal breaks not with force, but with glory. It does not crack like wax. It dissolves like pure light melting into the air. And as the scroll unrolls, the room around you, whether physical or spiritual, shifts. You feel the presence of something holy, something larger than words, something that embraces your soul like a warm wind from heaven's own breath. The scroll opens fully, and there, written in golden ink that flows like living fire, is the name heaven has for you. And the moment your eyes fall upon it, your spirit leaps. Not with fear, but with recognition. Not with confusion, but with clarity. It is as if a part of you that has been silent for years suddenly starts to sing. This name does not remind you of what broke you. It reminds you of what God built into you. This name does not expose your weakness. It reveals your calling. This name does not speak of your past. It speaks of your future. And as your spirit reads it, my beloved child, you feel a joy that washes through your heart like fresh water on dry ground. You feel lighter. You feel awakened. You feel as though someone has finally called out the truth about you that your soul always knew, but your life never fully confirmed. And in that moment, you understand that heaven has never been confused about who you are. Heaven has never forgotten your worth. Heaven has never lost track of your destiny. Michael looks at you with a knowing peace. He sees the recognition in your eyes. He sees the way your spirit shifts the moment you embrace the name written by God Himself. And He speaks softly, with a tenderness you did not expect from an Archangel of war. This is who you are in the eyes of the Almighty. Walk in it. Live in it. Become it. My beloved child, this name is not just a title. It is an identity. It is a mantle. It is a calling. It is a divine confirmation that heaven has always seen greatness in you, even in the seasons when you struggle to see it in yourself. And now, that identity is being placed into your hands, into your spirit, into your destiny. You are no longer walking under the label the world gave you. You are walking under the name heaven calls you by. You are stepping into the truest version of yourself. The version God crafted with care, with precision, with love. My child, let that truth settle into you deeply. Let it calm your fears. Let it strengthen your heart. Let it remind you that you were never forgotten, never overlooked, never abandoned by the God who formed you. Now, beloved, with the name revealed and your spirit awakened, it is time to open the invitation fully and see what heaven has prepared for you inside it. My beloved child, now that the name written by heaven has touched your spirit, let us gently unfold the rest of the invitation. For the scroll in Michael's hands is not merely a declaration of identity. It is a doorway into what God has prepared for you in this season of divine alignment. Feel the shift in the atmosphere around you. Heaven is not standing still. Angels are not idle. Something is moving toward you even now. Something meant only for you. Michael slowly turns the scroll so that both heaven and your heart can witness what lies within. The words on the parchment glow like morning light on calm waters. They do not sit on the page. They seem to breathe. They rise and fall like gentle waves, each one carrying the fragrance of promise. And as you gaze upon them, you sense that what you are seeing is not just a message, but a prophecy written in the ink of eternity. My beloved child, the invitation unfolds like a story. It begins with a reminder of heaven's love for you, a love so steady and so fierce that no storm has ever been able to silence it. It speaks of the countless moments God shielded you, the moments He pushed back darkness, the moments He whispered strength into your spirit when you felt too weak to rise. It reminds you that even in your lowest nights, heaven was preparing your highest dawn. As the scroll continues to open, the words shift, and now they speak of what is being released into your life. You see glimpses of blessings wrapped in light, promises that have waited patiently for this hour, favor that has been accumulating like dew on morning grass. You see doors opening that no man can shut. You see paths clearing that once seemed impossible to walk. You see restoration flowing, not in small drops, but in rivers. And then, my child, the invitation reveals something even greater. It shows you a vision of what heaven has been preparing for your spirit. A union, a joining, a holy merging of your destiny with God's divine intention. It is the wedding of your purpose with His promise, the union of your identity with your assignment. Heaven is celebrating the moment your spirit steps fully into who you were created to be. Michael watches you as you take this in. He knows this is not simply information. It is transformation. It is the moment heaven crowns you with understanding. It is the moment you begin to see yourself not through the eyes of your past, but through the eyes of God. He says softly, "Take this invitation not in your hands, but in your heart." My beloved child, as you continue reading, the scroll reveals the specifics of your invitation. God is calling you into alignment, into breakthrough, into fullness, into the season you were crafted for. Not a season of delay, nor a season of confusion, but a season of clarity and courage. Every word on the scroll affirms that what you thought was being withheld was actually being prepared. What felt silent was growing roots. What felt lost is returning with increase. This invitation tells you the time has come. Step forward. Heaven has prepared the feast. The angels have taken their places, and the doors of destiny are opening for you. My beloved child, let this truth sink deep into your spirit. You are not entering this season alone. You are entering with the blessing of heaven, with your name written by the very hand of God, with the Archangel of warfare standing beside you. You are being ushered into a moment meant only for you. And now, before we step into the revelation of the heavenly feast, let me gently tell you something from my heart. Just as heaven carefully crafts moments, you too play a part in spreading this divine message. When you share this word, when you lift it up, when you cause it to reach more souls, you are not performing a simple action. You are participating in a heavenly assignment. It becomes an offering, a small seed of obedience that God sees and honors. So, my child, let your spirit be stirred to carry this message forward, to let it touch others the way heaven intends. My beloved child, take a deep breath as we step into the next realm of this heavenly revelation. The scroll has spoken, the name has awakened your spirit, and now Michael gently motions for you to follow him, not with your feet, but with your heart. For what comes next is not a place you walk into physically. It is a place your soul enters, a place prepared for you since the beginning of your journey. a wedding feast, holy and radiant, crafted not by human hands, but by heaven's own design. As Michael leads you forward, the atmosphere around you shifts again. The light grows warmer, fuller, richer, as though the very air is made of joy. You sense music, not played by instruments, but carried by the wind of the Spirit. It is soft, powerful, ancient, and alive. It is the sound creation made on the day God formed you. The sound of heaven celebrating your awakening. My beloved child, before you is a great hall, vast, luminous, and open. The doors are not wooden, nor golden, nor decorated with earthly beauty. They appear like living gates of starlight, parting gently as you approach. Inside, a table stretches farther than your eyes can see, yet every place at it feels personal, intentional, lovingly prepared. This is the wedding feast of purpose, the celebration of your union with the destiny God has appointed for you. Angels stand along the sides of the hall, each one radiant beyond human description. Their wings shimmer with soft hues of white, silver, and gentle gold. They bow their heads slightly as you pass, not as worship to you, but as honor to the one who chose you. Their presence reassures you that heaven recognizes your journey, your struggles, your perseverance. You are not unnoticed. You are not forgotten. You are celebrated. My child, look upon the table. It is filled with gifts wrapped in light, not boxes or ribbons, but shimmering forms that pulse with divine energy. Each one represents a promise God has kept hidden until His time. Some carry healing, waiting to pour into old wounds. Some carry restoration, waiting to return what was lost. Some carry new beginnings, ready to lift you into places you never imagined you could reach. Some carry answers, solutions, breakthroughs, favor. And all of them, everyone, carry God's love, sealed and unshakable. The feast is symbolic, yet more real than anything the world could ever offer. For this is not food for the body, but nourishment for the spirit. It is the feast of alignment, the feast of stepping into who you truly are, the feast of destiny marrying purpose. Everything on this table is prepared for the version of you that heaven calls by name. Michael stands beside you, mighty and gentle all at once. He says, "This feast was prepared the moment you said yes." Not out loud, not with your mouth, but when your spirit began searching for God with sincerity. Heaven responds to longing. Heaven moves toward hunger. Heaven prepares feast tables for those who dare to believe that God has more for them. My beloved child, imagine yourself taking your place at the table. Not rushed, not pressured, not insecure. You sit as one who belongs there, because you do. The chair beneath you is steady, crafted of heavenly substance, representing stability in your purpose. You realize that this seat has always been waiting for you, and heaven has been waiting for you to take it. As you sit, something remarkable begins to happen. You feel warmth growing in your chest, slowly spreading like fire that does not burn, but heals. It fills the places inside you that once felt empty. It soothes the parts of your heart that carried silence, loneliness, disappointment. It reminds you that God has been preparing this moment long before you ever felt ready for it. You look around the hall again, and this time you notice something deeper. Every angel present is watching with expectation, as though they know what is coming next. They know this moment marks a shift. They know that once you partake of this heavenly feast, nothing in your life will remain the same. For those who sit at heaven's table do not return to their old valleys. They rise. They transform. They walk differently. My child, this feast symbolizes the full acceptance of your divine invitation. It is the moment heaven confirms you are no longer running from destiny. You are running into it. You are no longer surviving season after season. You are stepping into fulfillment. You are no longer carrying old identities. You are embracing the one heaven wrote for you. Michael lifts his sword gently, not in battle, but in blessing. Light flows from it, sweeping across the table, across the hall, across you. It is as though the very essence of heaven marks you in this moment, declaring that your purpose is now officially joined with God's promise. My beloved child, let your spirit take this in fully. You are seated at a feast meant for you. You are surrounded by a heavenly host cheering for you. You are standing in a season where God is bringing together everything you were created to be. Rest in this truth. Let it settle deeply. Let it awaken strength. Let it remind you that heaven is celebrating your yes. My beloved child, now that you have taken your seat at heaven's glorious feast, it is time for your spirit to understand the urgency behind Michael's words. You remember them, spoken not with fear, but with divine purpose. Only 2 minutes left. This is not a warning of danger, but a declaration that a window in the heavens has opened, a moment in the spiritual realm where everything aligns. Everything shifts, everything responds to the movement of God. My child, heaven's timing is not like ours. When heaven says 2 minutes, it means the moment of activation is here, the moment of crossing over, the moment of stepping into what has been waiting for you. Imagine, my beloved, the hall of the wedding feast behind you glowing with celebration, yet ahead of you emerges a path you sense you must walk. Not because you are being forced, but because the spirit within you is being drawn to move. The air around you thickens with holy urgency. Not panic. Not pressure. Purpose. You feel the rhythm of heaven pulling you forward, calling your name with the same voice that spoke the universe into being. This is the 2-minute moment. The moment where heaven waits to see if your heart will step forward or turn away. What does heaven mean by 2 minutes? It means the opportunity is ripe. It means the blessing is ready. It means the scroll has been written and delivered, and now heaven watches to see your response. It means what you do next determines what unfolds. In spiritual timing, a 2-minute warning is not about speed, it is about obedience, about sensitivity, about saying yes when God calls, not later, not tomorrow, but now. My beloved child, listen closely. Many souls miss their moments not because God refuses them, but because they hesitate when heaven calls. The enemy does not always need to block. Sometimes he only needs to delay. Delay is the quiet thief of destiny. Delay is the whisper that says, you can accept it later. You can believe later. You can step forward later. But Michael stands in front of you now, his presence fully charged with the authority of heaven, refusing to let delay steal from you again. He looks at you, my child, with those eyes that see straight through time, straight through your fears, straight through your doubts. And he says, do not hesitate. Heaven has declared the moment. Walk forward. His voice is steady and comforting, yet it carries the weight of eternity. He knows the battles you survive. He knows the nights you cry. He knows the doors that were slammed shut, the seasons that felt barren, the hopes you buried quietly in your heart. And now, he urges you not to let hesitation rob you of what heaven has finally released. My beloved child, understand this. The 2-minute countdown is not about rushing you. It is about awakening you. It is heaven saying, step into what is yours before the old season tries to pull you back. When you hesitate, the enemy tries to whisper confusion. But when you step forward, heaven releases acceleration. The moment you say yes with your spirit, angels move. The moment you agree, heaven aligns. The moment you accept, doors unlock. You are standing at a threshold now. Behind you is the feast of destiny. Before you is the road of fulfillment. The 2-minute call is heaven's way of saying, the transition is happening now. Do not miss the crossing. And as you stand there, something inside you begins to rise. Courage, clarity, peace, strength. It is the same strength that carried you through battles you thought would break you. It is the strength heaven placed in you when God formed your soul. Michael lifts his shield, that radiant shield that has defended you countless times without your awareness. He positions himself beside you, signaling that you are not walking forward alone. Heaven escorts those who respond to the call. Angels surround you. Purpose surrounds you. Destiny surrounds you. My beloved child, this is your moment. Your spirit knows it. Heaven knows it. The scroll knows it. The 2-minute call is not a threat. It is an invitation to step into what God has waited to give you. Take this step. Feel the weight of destiny shifting around you. Feel the urgency pulling you out of old patterns, out of fear, out of hesitation. My beloved child, now let us step into the mystery of what unfolds the very moment your spirit whispers yes to God. This yes is not spoken with your lips, but with the deepest part of you, the part heaven listens to, the part angels respond to, the part God himself shaped with his breath. When your soul says yes, even quietly, even trembling, even unsure, heaven moves with unstoppable force. You may not always feel the shift at first, but every realm above you reacts instantly. My child, imagine the moment your yes rises from your heart like a beam of light. It travels upward, passing through every layer of the unseen world. It passes through clouds of doubt, through old memories, through battles you once fought, and it reaches the throne of God with the purity of a child running toward their Father. Heaven hears it. Heaven celebrates it. Heaven responds. For when your spirit agrees with what God has written, the entire spiritual realm begins to rearrange itself on your behalf. Angels who once stood still begin to move. Doors that seemed sealed begin to unlock. Blessings that were suspended in waiting begin to descend like gentle rain. Places that felt impossible begin to open as though they were always meant for you. This is the power of yes. This is the shift heaven has been waiting for. My beloved child, you may not know it, but angels have been waiting on your agreement. They are assigned to your life, to your path, to your calling. Some angels are warriors, standing with Michael to fight on your behalf. Others are messengers, carrying instructions from heaven to you. Others are helpers, placing opportunities in your path, guiding your steps, whispering wisdom in moments you thought were your own thoughts. And the moment you say yes, every one of these angels steps into their position. It is like watching a divine orchestra rise to attention. Each angel takes their place, each one holding the assignment meant only for you. The yes in your spirit signals heaven that you are ready, not perfect, not fearless, but willing. Heaven does not respond to perfection. Heaven responds to permission. When God hears your yes, He releases movements that have been held back, waiting for the alignment of your heart. My child, in the unseen, you may not realize how many things begin to shift. Old chains begin to break, not by your strength, but by the authority of God's word spoken over your life. Patterns that once kept you stuck begin to crumble. Generational weights begin to lift. The atmosphere around your future begins to clear, like fog dissolving under morning light. Heaven rearranges pathways and people, removing what no longer serves your destiny and sending what will strengthen it. Some blessings travel quickly. Others travel with precision. But all of them move because you agreed with heaven's plan. This yes, my beloved, is the unlocking of the next chapter of your life. Sometimes you will feel the change immediately, a sudden peace, a surprising clarity, a burst of hope. Other times the change is quiet, like seeds planted deep in the soil that bloom when their moment arrives. But rest assured, it is happening. For heaven never ignores a surrendered heart. Michael stands nearby watching the shift unfold. He knows the weight of what you have done, even if you do not yet feel it. He knows the battles that will no longer trouble you, because your yes has closed certain doors that darkness once used. He knows the blessings that will reach you now because your yes has opened doors that heaven had been waiting to release. My beloved child, hear this truth. Every promise God made to you begins to accelerate when your spirit agrees with His timing. The 2-minute urgency transforms into momentum. The feast behind you becomes fuel. The name written on your scroll becomes identity. And your yes becomes the key that turns prophecy into reality. You are not the same person you were before you agreed with heaven. Something has shifted in the unseen. Something has awakened. Something has begun. You may not see everything yet, but heaven sees the path unfolding beautifully before you. My beloved child, now we enter the moment where Archangel Michael himself steps forward to speak directly to your spirit. Everything until now has led to this point. The scroll revealed, the feast prepared, the 2-minute call, the shift after your yes. Now Michael approaches you not as a distant heavenly warrior, but as a guardian who has watched over your life with unwavering commitment. His presence feels like strength wrapped in peace, like thunder wrapped in gentleness. He comes near, lowering his voice so that only your spirit can truly hear. He stands before you with purpose. The light around him steadies, becoming calm and focused. His wings fold slightly, not in weakness, but in reverence for the message he is about to deliver. Then he speaks your heavenly name, the name written on the divine invitation, slowly, intentionally, with the power that passes through you like wind moving through the branches of an old tree. When he says your name, the atmosphere responds. Heaven itself leans in, for this is not casual instruction. This is divine guidance for your journey ahead. My beloved, Michael begins. What has been opened before you must now be guarded. Every gift heaven has released into your life, every promise God has declared, every path that has shifted into alignment. These must be cherished, protected, and walked with wisdom. His voice is deep yet reassuring, carrying both the authority of a commander and the tenderness of a father. You must walk forward with intention. Do not wander back into the shadows of old fears. The time for that has passed. My child, as he speaks, something in you becomes clearer. You feel as though invisible weights fall from your shoulders, weights that once belonged to doubt, hesitation, confusion, and insecurity. Michael continues, you have stepped into a holy moment, and holy moments require holy focus. Guard your heart from voices that speak against what God has spoken over you. Guard your mind from thoughts that try to pull you back. Guard your spirit from anything that stirs discouragement. His words settle into you like seeds planted in fertile soil. Then Michael shifts his stance, lifting his shield slightly so its light reflects onto you. The shield, he says, has been protecting you long before you knew you needed protection. And it will continue to protect you as you step into this new journey. But hear me, beloved, protection works best when you walk in obedience. Stay aligned with heaven. Stay close to the voice of God. Stay rooted in the identity He has given you. For when you walk in who you truly are, nothing can stand against you. My beloved child, these instructions are not warnings. They are encouragements. They are heaven's way of telling you that you are ready, that you are equipped, that you are capable of moving forward without fear. Michael knows the path ahead is filled with blessings, but he also knows how easy it is for the world to distract a chosen soul. That is why he speaks with such clarity now. He leans closer, his eyes glowing like blue fire. Listen to the still, small voice within you, he says. That voice is the echo of God's guidance. It will lead you when you are uncertain. It will strengthen you when you feel weak. It will remind you of everything heaven has spoken over you in this hour. My child, imagine those words wrapping around you like a mantle. You feel stronger, more grounded, more aware of the divine presence that has been guiding you all along. Michael is not giving you commands. He is giving you companionship. He is reminding you that you are not stepping into this destiny alone. Heaven walks with you. Angels surround you. God Himself has written His name beside yours. Then, softly, Michael speaks one final instruction. Move forward with courage. Move forward with joy. Move forward with trust. For everything that has been promised is already in motion. Only walk, beloved. Only believe. Only continue. My beloved child, now let us come to the final movement of this holy journey. You have walked through revelation after revelation. You have seen heaven prepare a scroll with your name. You have entered the hall of destiny's feast. You have heard Michael's voice call you into alignment, and you have felt the shift that comes after your spirit whispers a true yes. Now, in this closing moment, heaven's peace settles gently upon you, like the soft glow of evening light resting on quiet waters. My child, pause here with me. Do not rush. Let your heart breathe in the sacred calm. Feel the warmth of God's presence surrounding you, holding you, reassuring you. You are standing not at an ending, but at a beginning. This final blessing is not a farewell. It is a seal, a holy imprint placed upon your life to mark the unfolding of everything heaven has prepared. Imagine, beloved, the scroll once more in your hands. It is no longer unfamiliar. It no longer feels distant. It feels like home. It feels like truth. It feels like destiny settling into its rightful place. The golden letters shimmer softly now, no longer calling loudly for your attention, but resting peacefully because your spirit has received them. What was once a mystery is now a promise. What was once a promise is now a path. Michael stands at your side, taller and brighter than before, not because he has changed, but because you have. You now see with the eyes of one who has been awakened, called, chosen. He looks at you with gentle pride, the kind a guardian feels when one they have defended finally steps into their full identity. Go forward in peace, he says without words, speaking directly into your spirit. For heaven walks with you. My beloved child, hear this final truth. God does not give invitations and then leave his children to walk alone. This scroll, this feast, this guidance, these are not moments that vanish after your listening ends. These are markers on your path, signs that you are not returning to the way things were. You are stepping into the purpose that has been waiting patiently for your arrival. You are stepping into answered prayers, divine timing, restored strength, and renewed clarity. Take a moment, my child, and breathe this in. You are loved with a love so wide it cannot be measured, so deep it cannot be shaken, so strong it cannot be undone. You are not just one soul among many. You are known, seen, cherished. You are written into the story of heaven. God himself called your name, and the angels rejoiced. That alone should tell you how valuable you are to the one who formed you. Now let this final blessing flow over you like a soft river of light. May your steps be guided by the wisdom of heaven. May your heart remain steady, anchored in the truth of who you are. May every place you go carry the scent of the scroll God placed into your hands. May every challenge you face bow to the power of your divine identity. May every promise written over your life find its time and fulfillment. And my beloved, as this heavenly message settles in your spirit, know this also. When a word like this reaches you, it is never meant to stop with you. You become a carrier of divine light. You become a vessel of encouragement. You become a witness to the works of heaven. And when you share this revelation, when you lift it up, when you allow it to spread, You participate in the very breath of God. You honor the one who honored you. You join heaven in calling others into their awakening. In doing so, you fulfill a quiet, sacred duty that heaven cherishes. Now, my child, rest in the peace of this moment. Let the invitation settle in your soul. Let the name heaven calls you anchor your spirit. Let the feast of destiny nourish your purpose. Let Michael's instructions protect your steps. And let God's love wrap around you like a cloak of glory. You are ready. You are chosen. You are called. You are blessed. Amen.